Did you know there are 3 V's to your communication, and you've got to have all of them in alignment if you want to be an effective, powerful, and influential speaker? I'll show you what I mean right now. Hi, I'm Joshua Seth, keynote speaker on communication and presentation skills. And in this video, I'll be talking about the 3 V's of communication. Now, this is a framework that was first put forth in the book Silent Messages by Dr. Albert Mehrabian. Mehrabian, not Mandelbaum. Anywho, the 3 V's are verbal, vocal, and visual. Now let me ask you, which do you think is the most important? The verbal, the actual words that you use? The vocal, the way that you sound when you say them? Or the visual, commonly thought of as the body language that you're exhibiting as you speak? Well, according to the research, it's 93% the nonverbals, the vocal and the visual. Now, this is where we get the saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's not to mean that the content of your speech doesn't matter. Of course it does. Of course the words matter. But when there's a conflict between what you're saying and the way that you are saying it, fully 93% of the emphasis or the value that the listener will place on your speech is given over to the way that you say it. 38% for tone of voice, 55% for body language. Now, that can encompass many things, which we'll get into right now. First of all, the words that you use. That's not just the content of your speech, it's your clarity of speech. If you use any idioms or slang in your speech, the verbal is quite literally the words that you use. Are you using a level of vocabulary that sounds professional, or are you peppering your speech with slang and idioms and ums and ahs and filler words? The words that you use do matter, but to a lesser degree than the style in which you say them. And that's when we get into the nonverbals, such as tone of voice. Tone of voice encompasses your pitch, your pace, the rhythm and the speed of your speech. The volume, how loud or soft are you speaking? The inflection that you have, the vocal variety, the music of your speech. All of this is thought of as your tone of voice. Your pitches, your highs and your lows, your sound, the way that you sound when you say the words that are coming out of your mouth. I don't like that tone you're using, right? When you hear that, it doesn't have much to do with the content of what you're saying. It's the way that you are saying it, the tone of voice. And finally, your body language. Now, body language is typically thought of as, well, he's got closed off body language because his arms are crossed. It's so much more than that. It's your gestures, the space that you're taking up. Are you making eye contact? The tilt of your head, the posture, the way that you move in the space, the way that you feel in your clothes and the comfort level that you exhibit with your own body. This is your body language, and it communicates so much more than words alone. So, what happens if you've got your verbal down pat? You know exactly what you're going to say. You've rehearsed your sales script. You've rehearsed your speech. You know exactly what to say. And you sound fantastic when you say it. You've warmed up your voice. La, 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 la. And you sound magnificent when you speak. But your body language is a little awkward. You're lifting your shoulders. You're got some little tics going on. When you speak, it all falls apart. It's not congruent. People won't believe what you're saying because they'll believe what they're seeing. When there's a conflict between the two, people will believe what they see over the words that you use. That's why body language comprises 55% of the effectiveness of your communication in terms of those 3 V's. Now, let's do another scenario. What if you got your verbal down? Your visuals are down, but your vocals, for instance, you know the words that you're going to say. Your body language is confident and commanding and open and expressive and congruent, but you sound very soft when you're saying it. People have to lean in because you're barely speaking above a whisper. Or you speak in a monotone, Bueller, Bueller, every word the same. Or you're talking really fast like this, which conveys nervousness or overexcitement. There's so many ways that it could fall apart if the vocal aspect of your speech is not congruent with the body language and the words. Now, what if you have all those nonverbals together? You sound fantastic. You look fantastic. But you don't know what you're talking about. Then the same thing holds true. You've got to know your stuff, but you've also got to present it in a way that creates an emotional response in the listener, which is positive, which evokes authority and authenticity and trust. And when you can connect all three of those together, the verbal, the vocal, and the visual, well, then you are congruent. That's that sweet spot right there, right in the middle. Then you have congruency. Then you have presence, professional presence, leadership presence, the sort of presence that make people want to follow what it is that you have to say. So the next time that you're preparing to give a speech or a presentation, anytime that you speak to others, focus not just on the words that you're going to use, but the way that your body moves when you say it and the way that you sound as well. Verbal, vocal, visual. Those are the 3 V's of communication. Get them all in alignment and you will be a much more powerful and effective and influential speaker now and in the future.